And welcome back to Chicago Bulls Insider. Today we're talking about Game 2 of the NBA Summer League as the Chicago Bulls get beat by the Sacramento Kings 109-92. We're going to be recapping all the action that took place. And so before we go ahead and we do that, I first want to remind you to slam dunk on that subscribe button, just like Modest Buzelis slam dunks in games. And so in exchange for slamming on that subscribe button, I'm going to give you nothing but daily content around the Chicago Bulls. So make sure that you hit that like, you hit that subscribe, and you join the Chicago Bulls Insider family as we talk nothing but Chicago Bulls basketball. And so with that being said, let's go ahead and let's jump into it as we're talking about Game 2 here for the Chicago Bulls as they fall to the Sacramento Kings. And so, look, I think that the Chicago Bulls were a lot better today as far as the turnovers were concerned. So they cut those down because they had 33 turnovers in Game 1. But I think really one of the stories in this game for the Chicago Bulls is just going to be the missed free throws, which we'll take a look at here in a second. So I think the Chicago Bulls left a lot of points there at the free throw line. And then also, too, you got to give the Sacramento Kings a lot of credit, I think, for the way that they were able to close down the basketball game. I think that that was really huge in the win for them today, and really how they were able to get some separation and just ultimately win the game. And so let's go ahead and let's start with the Chicago Bulls and their best player. And it was Javon Freeman-Liberty again. So when you look at the offense that he was able to provide, 21 points today, -3 in the plus-minus box score. He did have a steal. He had 2 assists, the 3 rebounds. He was 8 of 10 from the free throw line. And so that is something that he did in Game 1, his ability to get to the free throw line. And he was 6 of 18 from the field. He was 1 of 5 from deep. And so, look, Javon Freeman-Liberty, he always plays very well when it comes down to the Summer League. And he's been with the Windy City Bulls here this last season. And I think that, look, if he doesn't get a two-way contract, somewhere else, I think definitely you could see him back with the Windy City Bulls. But I think that just really he's been the source of offense here for the Chicago Bulls. And he's just really comfortable out there. And so you will continue to probably see this happen, especially since Modest Buzelis did not play, by the way. He rested today, and so no injury for him or anything like that. I think that they were saying they just didn't want to go ahead and put him into a back-to-back situation. And so Javon Freeman-Liberty steps up there and leads the Chicago Bulls in scoring. And so next, I want to talk about the next best player on the floor for the Chicago Bulls today. And I thought that it was our rookie here, Noa Essengue. I thought that he was terrific here in his second game. And so I know, we're going to talk about the missed shots and things like that. But comparatively speaking to Game 1, and I get it, Summer League, I loved what I saw from Noa Essengue today. I thought that he was very active. And especially, what I liked about his performance today is the first play, the very, very first play of the game, they actually ran a little bit of a pin down action for him, and he got it at the top of the key. He didn't do anything with it, but it was the fact that they got him engaged early. I love that, and it just was a good sign of things to come here for Noa Essengue. And so he had 12 points. He was -4 in the plus-minus box score. He had a block. He had a steal. He had an assist. He had 10 rebounds, and he was 4 of 7 from the field. And then you see that, 4 of 7 from the free throw line, 4 of 10 from the field, and 0 of 4 from downtown. And so the 3-point shots, there were some bad misses out there for sure, but I was liking the fact that he continued to shoot the basketball. I like the fact that he got to the free throw line. You clearly see that he had 7 chances here, only converting 4, so he's got to do a little bit better job there. That's going to lead to some more points. But I love the activity defensively. I thought that he did a great job there. He got a very nice block early on. And then I love the fact that he was just in there battling for the rebounds and things like that. And so I think that he really met the physicality a lot better today than he did in Game 1. Now, the unfortunate thing here about Noa Essengue is that he actually suffered a little bit of an injury here. Doesn't look like that it's anything too serious, but from what I'm seeing, it looks like that it was a contusion that he suffered. I guess I saw here where it's saying that he got hit at the top of the knee. I have seen a report that said it was the thigh. And so anyway, it was in that upper knee to thigh area. He got a contusion. And I think he was saying it happened on a screenplay or something like that. And so it looks like that he's going to be fine. He did come back out to the bench, and hopefully we get a chance to see him some more, because I definitely thought that in game 2, he was a bit more relaxed. And I just liked his confidence, even though he missed, on the 3-point shots and things like that. I think that he still continued to play through it. And you can just really tell that this is a player that he's going to need some time to really find his way. But he's definitely a player that I think is going to be a slasher playing inside right now. He is going to have that ability at some point, hopefully, to knock down that shot, because the form and everything, it doesn't look broke. Like, it definitely looks like it looks good. It's just a matter of him getting comfortable with that and continue to work with it. And so I like the effort, seeing a double-double here with him playing with that type of energy in game 2. I like that. And so speaking of rookies, I think that we also have to give Lachlan Olbrich a lot of credit as well. I thought that he stepped up here in game 2, and I really didn't talk about him as much in game 1 because, he was pretty quiet out there, but you can tell that he's definitely comfortable with handling the basketball. Not saying that he is going to command, just any major time here with the club when the season starts or anything like that. We'll see what happens with what's going on at the center position, but I did like what I saw from him today. And I thought that he definitely showed that, look, he's got some terrific hands, because he got some great passes here from Yuki, who we're going to talk about in a moment. And so he was out there throwing some dimes. And so I like the finish that I saw from Lachlan Olbrich, and I just liked his activity today. And so you see that he was 5 of 11. He was 0 of 2 from downtown, 2 of 4 from the free throw line. He did have 12 points. He had 6 rebounds. He had an assist. He had a steal. He was just -4. But again, I like the fact that he also approached game 2 a lot better. He seemed to be a lot more relaxed out there and just played his game. And so I was very impressed with that. Jahmir Young, I think he played a lot better here in game 2 than he did in game 1. It looks like that the pressure really, impacted him in game 1, but 10 points today. He had the 7 assists, -10 in the plus-minus box score. He was 4 of 8 from the field and 2 of 2 from the free throw line. And then with Pereira, I thought Pereira was our highlight man out there today. I mean, look, he was going after posters today. And in fact, he did get a good poster out there. And so I loved what he was doing as far as just going to the rim and not looking for layups, but looking to posterize folks out there. And so 15 points today for him. 2 assists. He had 5 rebounds. He was 3 of 6 from downtown, 6 of 11 from the field. So again, I just liked his activity as far as attacking the rim today. And then with the bench, look, I loved what we got from Yuki. I think that even though Yuki finished with the -13 in the plus-minus box score, he only had 4 points. Yes, he had 4 turnovers, but I love the 3 steals, but the 5 assists. Man, I love this 5 assists. I thought that Yuki did a terrific job as just far as creativity, because I think a lot of these passes and things like that he was making, especially the one where he went behind the back to Lachlan Olbrich, who was cutting when he had the layup there. And so, man, just the creativity and just the will and just the belief to make that pass there. I got to give him a lot of credit. And I think his fan base gave us a little bit of a boost there too as well. So it was good to see Yuki out there. You can definitely see where he's shown flashes to where I think he was on a 2-way deal with the Memphis Grizzlies. Let's see, if he can cut down the turnovers and things like that. But you can definitely see the creativity that he gives you as a point guard out there. And so a nice little effort here from Yuki there. And then as far as Wooga Popla, I thought that he settled in a lot more here in game 2. As you see, he had the 8 points out there. So I think that he was able to find a little bit more space today, -14 in the plus-minus box score. I think that he looked like he was a little bit more comfortable out there. Caleb Grill, you can definitely tell that this guy can certainly knock down 3-point shots. In fact, there was one play, I believe it was in the 3rd quarter, where he literally picked the ball up off of the deck because it wasn't the greatest pass. And I mean, he nailed a corner 3-point shot. And so I remember Steve Smith, in fact, talking about that, if you got a chance to watch that on NBA TV. And so, look, man, I thought that we saw some better efforts across the board. Yes, we still lost out there, but I loved what we saw from our rookies here. And so just going into the team box score very quickly here, No, it's summer league, but we definitely have to jump into it. And so, with the field goal percentage, 42.3%, you would like to see that up a little bit higher. We were just 8 of 33 from the three-point line for 24.2% today. Like I was saying before coming into this, the free throw percentage was not there for the Chicago Bulls. You see that the Bulls got to the free throw line 28 times, but only converting 18 of those, 64.3% there. So left a ton of points there at the free throw line. And then you see that the Kings, well, they knocked down everything. The three-point shot, 48.4 for them, 56.2% from the field. So I think that they did a great job as far as being efficient. And then with the assist, not too bad, 25 to 20 right there, 11 to 8. The steals, you see that the Bulls lead in that department, 3 to 1. The Kings lead there. The turnovers, like I said, much better today, 17 to 11. So that's a lot better than the 33 turnovers that we had here in game number 1. And so anyway, look, I think it was a solid performance. The Bulls are going to be off here, I believe, until Monday. And so we'll see what happens there. We'll definitely be covering that. But look, I think that the rookies definitely did a terrific job today in game 2. Hopefully we get some good news with Noe Essengue, and hopefully we get a chance to see him again. Wouldn't be upset if the Bulls shut him down either, because like I said, he showed definitely some great flashes here. You can definitely see that there's some real upside with him. It's just going to be a matter of putting it all together and really being patient with him, but definitely a lot more fearless. I liked seeing him in game 2. I think he was more fearless, and so was Lachlan Olbrich. So I got to give them a ton of credit. So anyway, you guys let me know in the comments here what you guys are thinking about the Chicago Bulls coming in here and just they lose in game 2, but a lot better performance here from the rookies. Let me know what your key insights were from that. And as we always say, look, go Bulls, and I will see you guys on the next one. All right, peace.